The rites. Preliminary remarks. In the preceding paragraph, the rites of initiation were described. Now we will pay attention to the rites over the essential oneness of man and cosmos has become evident from the preceding, but the strict observance of the other harmony is maintained with all life and its attendant blessings. Seen from this point of view, it cannot seem clear that mishaps or disasters and strange phenomena in nature which threaten the welfare are associated with the violation of the other. In these cases, we find a scammer where discussing this kind of religion in general has just remarked a corporate and strenuous religion activity towards restoring the harmony and thereby saving the vitality of their faiths, their health, the security of their families, the stability and welfare of their tribe from becoming endangered. It is this rights that must restore the harmony. It is beyond it is beyond the scope of this work to pay attention to each of the many rights. However interesting they may be, we shall have to restrict ourselves to a description of two by far the most important rights which are closely related. The first is the cock oracle parmanuhon. This oracle is consulted before every important enterprise, the building of a village or house, or the contraction of a marriage, etc. It owes its great significance, however, also to the fact that in distressful times, it informs those that consult it in what respect that the other has been violated, and that it gives the necessary indications to avert the threatening catastrophe to put an end to a prevalent disastrous situation. In the case of small individual trespasses, a sacrifice must be made to a spirit, a deity, etc., while when the other has been seriously violated by the committee abuse sacrificial ceremony, the second rite to be described by us must be held. Parmanuhon. For this rite, a number of requisites are wanted to represent the universe. One proceeds as follows. A square rice window is placed on a rice mat. Photo 6. On this window, a figure is drawn representing the 8 points of the compass with a little circle in the center. The rice window is called naga padoha, the ocean and the underworld. The figure of the compass represents the middle world. The second requisite is an ampang, a basket, for which the cock derives its name, manuk diapang, the cock in the basket. This basket has a square bottom, is open and round at the top, and will be placed upside down and the red rice window as soon as the cock is killed. This basket is called Saniang Naga Langit, i.e. the upper world naga. Is in our opinion, this basket represents the upper world. Since around the square bottom of the basket, the bonang mantle is tied. Photo 7, symbolizing the high god in history, oneness, living in the highest sphere of the world. Also, the Hasyana Pitu, i.e. the 7 components lead the 7 virtues one, serve as requisites. They are placed on the rice window under the basket, one a brass bracelet, two a ring baja, three baja, i.e. some black on a lemon leaf, coconut oil on the leaf of a tree, flowers, betel leaves, a gold earring. Winkler is of opinion dat die 7 Hasya zeer oorspronkelijk auf die 7 planeten bezogen hebben. With due respect for this man of experience in this field of science, it is difficult for us to accept his view because the Toba Batak did not originally know the 7 planets, which Winkler himself admits. If his view were true, the 7 components ought to be hung over the rice window instead of being placed on it. Let us first of all point out the function of these components. As soon as the cock is killed, The outcome of the three oracle from the tokens see on the cock, but especially from the position of this cock with respect to the egg points of the compass, 7 components, the basket and the glass window. In the second place, the surname of each of these components deserve our attention. The bracelet golang golang is also called siulung bane. This means among Bogo, father, sister's husband, as well as Parumain, daughter-in-law, and Apa Mangulahi, wife's brother's son. The earring Duri Duri is called Sangha Jamuria, i.e. a powerful chief. The black Baja is also called Silasabon and means bow, wife's brother's wife, as well as Eda, brother's wife in relation to a sister. The coconut oil miyak is also called sibijaon and means tulang maternal uncle dan tulang maternal uncle's wife and ibebere sister's child. The battle the, the battle leaves Napuran, also called Sisumbaon, which means Opu, grandfather, grandmother, and Pahopu, grandchild. The ring tintin and the flowers bunga bunga respectively have the surnames of Nan Sahang Nawalu and Sidiang Mangele Bunga, the meaning of which is unknown. Perhaps they are also terms of relationship. In the third place, we must point at the meaning of the number seven among the Toba Batak. It denotes a totality in time and space. It is therefore to be accepted that the Hasiana Pitu represent the totality of relationship and thus the whole community. The space between the cock and the square basket turned upside down is called Banua holding the firmament. Outside the basket, we see a ulos of the ordinary kind, a pustaha, and a big knife, Amon photo 6. As demonstrated above, they are the symbols of the ankle, middle, and upper world. They are the symbol of the under, middle, and upper world. Moreover, there are a sahan horn containing water to be poured into a cup to cleanse the bill of the cock, and a little bag containing salt and ginger. The cock is fed with this just before it killed. This cock oracle is sometimes denoted by Laba Laba Nyoputa Batara translated by Wilker as Hutie Useres Gospoda's Batara Guru. On this his supposition is based that Toba Batak convinced that Batara Guru zich von de overweld of the Erde herablast und die durch den Hand seine Weisungen zu offenbaren. However, this opposition is in contradiction with his conclusion mentioned in N24, where he ascribes this function to the High God, an explanation which, in our opinion, is a more plausible one, is recorded in the text of a myth to be found in the collection of Winkler himself. As stated, when Batara Guru's two brothers had already sons and daughters, whereas he himself had not had any, he consulted the cock oracle in this text. We come across this phrase, ia lava lava mamanukda tung mate pang ditilik mai, i.e., his cock died in convulsions in the basket and he examined it. When we remember that Batara is looked upon as the eldest of the three mythical ancestors, so that he must be considered as the first who consulted the cock oracle. It is not unlikely that the verb adjective laba laba connected with Batara Guru has become a noun laba laba in the sense of the twitching cock. For this reason, the above mentioned name is to be interpreted as the twitching cock of Agopung Batara Guru Dori. So far, we have summed up all the requisites but one. This is the ulos kagi hidup, the cloth by which everything is covered as soon as the animal is placed in the basket, so that the rest window, the basket, etc. are hidden from the view. We may conclude from this that The raga hidup is conceived as a representation of the cosmic totality. For this ceremony, four dhatu are wanted. The first is the dhatu Partongo, who invokes the spirits and deities of the upper, middle, and underworld during the convulsions of the cock, and who, as soon as the animal has died and the basket has been lifted, reads the outcome of the oracle. He wears the bonang manalu as a headcloth. The second is the Datu Panibangi, who pronounces judgment on the conclusion of the first. The third, the Datu Panamboli, is in charge of the killing of the animal manambol to kill an animal, while the fourth serves as Datu Pangukap, the Datu who lifts the basket, and Ukap to open for to eat. We actually see in this rite the representation of the cosmic totality. Now we will demonstrate the probability that it is the high god himself whom the Toba Batak consider to be the one who determines the outcome of the oracle. The question whether this god is believed to descend into this cock, a view supported by Winkel, or that the cock as Volkhove OCP 63 has it, is identified with the high god Mula Jadi. We will leave undecided. With a view to the above, we will publish a text taken from the material collected by Arsenius Lumbantobing. For the sake of a better understanding of this text, we make free to dwell upon the remarkable Toba's conception with respect to the chiefs. In the preceding pages, we have said that the village chief is the personified Adat, but also the personified community. So, the conception of the oneness of cosmic order and space is clearly illustrated here, like the hula hula in the smallest cosmic community. The village chief is generally called the representative of the high god. This may have become sufficiently clear from the description of the administration of justice, which we have borrowed from Verhoeven's book, for the sake of clearness. However, we will quote an adage translated by Wagner, Religion P59, saying, Vorspuren von Elefanten im Tale Panaluan. Wenn der Fuß befiehlt, so ist gut, ihm zu folgen. Wenn man ihm nicht gehorcht, so stößt man sich ins Unglück. Wenn man ihm aber folgt, so hat man Segen davon. Also the well-known Sisingamanga Raja has already been mentioned in the first chapter. There is no doubt that he is also believed to be the representative of the high god. Auch der Batakse Oberfuß merkt noch Oberpriest Singamanga Raja wird göttlich verehrt, weil sein Tondi, der in diesem Sinne auch Sahala genannt, besonders mächtig und einflussreich ist. Wenn der Sisingamanga in seiner Eigenschaft als Oberpriester einen Befehl erlas, dann gehorchen ihm alle Batak. Wagner, Religion P59. So we can even say, proceeding from the unity of representation and identity, the Tobanese experienced the high god himself in Sisingamanga Raja. To ignore this prince will cause disharmony in the universe. Enlightened by the preceding, it will be easy to understand the meaning of the following text. The story opens with the information that in the past, the district of which Bakare is the most important village was visited by a calamity. A great drought prevailed, accompanied by violent winds, so that the rice in the fields grew upside down, and a failure of the crops was to be expected. The chiefs of the Naga living in this district tried to find the cause of these events. Before this great disaster occurred, the birth of a prodigy has drawn great attention. It was the son of Bogu Pasaribu, the spouse of Raja Bonanionan, begotten in a mysterious way, from which reason the latter had more or less neglected his spouse. The boy was one of a long line of Sisingamaraja princes. On the day before the great disaster, this boy has climbed a tree and had managed to hang head foremost from a branch. On hearing this, the assembled chiefs saw a causal connection between these two events, so they set out to see Raja Bonanionan. Jadi, magluhut ma raja ni Bakara, sude sionom opu, asa magtup-tup na sida lau manopot Raja Bonanionan, ay nunga dibigyan na sida bagita, sigaw ni nahalak ni na anak ni bogu pasaribu di harangan sulu-sulu. Dungi, saut matong ditobot na sida naonomi Raja Bonanionan, ia naonom opui, ima, Bakara, si Hite, si Manulang, si Nambela, magbundohot si Mamora, mogudug manasida manopot Raja Bonanionan. Dungi manukun ma Raja Bonanionan di sude Raja nisionom opui, di dogma rohamu aliaka Raja nami, tutonga ni alamanon, ba ahado na didok muna ninna. Ianggo na hudok hamida Raja nami, dina akan nagoi mangalusi, na masa do na sodung masa dihitaon, ay nunga suhar eme dihita biyugna tutogu ugatna tugijang ninna. Ba molo songoni aha manidok muna tuau tagot tusi ay sohuboto manang dia alanii nina Raja Bonanionan. Dungi didok Raja nisiono opui mamuse homada Raja nami hasuhuton jowon madatu pok manuk asa dipabua tu hitam manang dia dosi pelion asa gabe na niula asa sinung na pinahan asa sumuang dohot biug ni eme itu gicang ay hubege hami bagita mok sigaw ni na anak ni nata bogu pasaribu di harangan sulu-sulu di bay din na uluna dopak togu jalapat na dopak gicang. Dungi balik ari na imuse pitor suhar masude eme di haumani hitaon. Leleng mai say na oputta debata do mabaini dohot mai nuaing na sinukunon ubay na didok maniking manuk hita din na akan nagoi. Dungi dioloi Raja Bonanionan ma ibana hasuhutan di titi masida maari di jow madatu maniking manuk tiapang magpungu mamusi aka Raja nisionom opu mangadopi pormanuhoni di patuka maapang tugijang di pasigala maduri mogtonggo madatui dot Raja Bonanionan songonon ma didok nasida di tonggonai ali opung na moktua debata opung mula jadi na bolon hodo na jumadiot saluhutna nasa nadong tinggil mapinggolmu patonggog masimalolongmu tumangihon tonggo namion ay masa do na sohea masa di luat namion suhar eme di hami biyog na dopak togu ugat na dopak gijang masa dohot haba-haba nagogo hubege hami bagita namok sigaung do dina anak ni nata bogu pasaribu di harangan sulu-sulu ba molo tung na hodo manongosi ali opung na magtua debata gabe Raja panukunan mai di hami gabe Raja si sombaon ima na huelek hami husoba-soba hami pinalu magot dang sa bangunan yang gotung na ido mabain emenami is songon poktu una hian si bain na gabe na niula si bain na sinug na pinahan horas jolma takas manukot bain manopot soson nauri anggo soido ale opung baditudali manukon mai ia dung une be nato gopi huduli nganan nabe jupang matiki ni pangukapna di manuhi di ida maatong nunga ditopot sosoi. Dungi makuling madatui di dokma alia kamang Raja dohoto alia mang suhut Raja Bonanionan takas mabereng ale damang datu panibangi tinapul hausada sinadeon tu sitorop polta bulan digijang sumoro obun manogot takas pe mamerengan sabungan na mata torop ay somal do hamu mangadopi pormanuhon ope da Raja nami Raja Bonanionan nuai nunga dilion oputa debata di hobona ni bona ni harajaon di hita batakon nuai nunga duhug na kudesan non pagmanuhonon di dolok ni pugbatua nunga di singahon oputa debata harajaon ni ditubu ni inata bogu pasaribui Nunga aksak ni nami di taon majadi tua. Say holat ilu dosa na say laon di mata ni nata berupa seribu manenggeng isa-isak do tumaon hata-hata hape ido majadi tua na dohot sangap na banunga dilihon debata tubuh ni inatai singa ni uhum singa ni harajaon singa ni hata nungai sitiop batuan sitiop singa ni harajaon sitiop batuan si sadaihot ninggala si bolatali sitiop gatang harajuan hatian pamonoran si horus na gugur si tabay na longa di hita batakon. Orpe aliamanga jani sionom opu bolas ni roha mahita mamuji oputta debata mula jadi na bolon na majadi hon harajaon nunga di leon di hita na sangap na badia mola mago hita ninai magoma ia gabe hita ninai bagabe ma dianggo inata bogu pasaribu nunga siang ilu siang togu ni matana raja ni tubunai ma sogot dohot na so tinadana masih martinangi masih parion niaka raja di patipa be maguguan na gawe manani ulana yang goe metai sadari dioloi hamu na hudokon sumuang mai songon somalna go maudan di pegudanan siang madohot haba-haba. I.e. The princess, chief of the 6 clans of the district Bakara, met to decide to pay a visit together to Raja Bonanyonan, for they had learned that Bogu Pasaribu son had foremost from a branch in the forest of Sulu. The 6 chiefs set out for Raja Bonanyonan. The 6 clans were Bakara, Sihite, Simanulang, Magbun, and Simamora. So, together they set out to pay a visit to Batak Raja Bonanyonan. On the arrival at Raja Bonanyonan's village, he asked them, "What's the reason, honorable princess, that you have come to my village?" "Did in the middle of the yard," the 6 chiefs replied. "The reason of our visit, honorable prince, is a phenomenon which has never occurred in our district within living memory. The rice is going upside down, the cars are turned downwards, the roads are turned upwards." The Raja Bonanyonan said, "I see, but I wonder why you have come to me, for neither do I know to what cause this phenomenon must be imputed." There are the six chiefs replied. "We want to call the Datu to consult the cock oracle for us, that we may know what we should offer as a sacrifice to see the plant flourish, the cattle thrive, and the rice in the sawahs goes normally again. We beg you, honorable prince, to act as Hasuruton, as we have learned that the sword of your spouse berupa seribu hung upside down from a branch in the forest of Sulu on the day before the rice began to grow in this abnormal way. In former times, the birth of such a prodigy also occurred now and then, and it always turned out that it was our Opung Debata who had sent him. Is this a similar occurrence? We want clarity in this case too, but by medium of the cock oracle. Raja Bonanyon acceded to this request of the chiefs. Together, they fixed a favorable day and called a Datu, who was to take charge of the proceedings. On the appointed day, the chiefs of the 6 clans assembled again to assist at the ceremony of the parmanuhon. A basket was placed upside down on the rasminau, and together with Raja Bonanyonan, the Datu said the following prayer: "Oh Gopung, you holy debata, Opung mula jadi na bolon, creator of all things existing. May it please you to listen attentively to our prayer. Something has happened in our district which never occurred before. The rice is going in an abnormal way, curves downwards, roots upwards. Moreover, there is a violent wind. We have been informed that Bogu Pasaribus Song Han heard from us. From a tree is the foremost of Sulu. If it is you, holy Debata,
who sent him to be a ruler over us, a source of information, and the one whom we must obey, then we promise you to pray to him and to honor him by the songs of the Gondang. If this, i.e. the recognizing of this child as a prince, should make our rice grow normal in a normal way again, our other plantations flourish, our cattle thrive, and our sheep remain in good health. If it be so, then make the cock lie down in the right direction. If not, let it lie down with its back towards it. When all those present were seated, the moment of the lifting of the basket came. Then they saw the cock lying in the right direction. Then the daughter began to speak. Honorable Princess and you, Reverend Suhud Hasuton, CFN 118. Raja Bonanionan and you too, Datu Panibangi, be careful now. Be careful now. Let us cut down a tree and make it rest against the cedar of tree, i.e. a sort of artocarpus. The moon will rise in the evening, and in the morning the clouds will hang low. Though I myself can read the oracle very well from the direction of the cock, yet we can do better this collectively, for all of you have also experience in this respect. Now then, Reverend Raja Bonanionan, as far as I can understand from the direction of the cock, it has pleased the Bata to grant you the one who shall be the source of the Adat, the first who shall be honored as a supreme ruler over us Batak. This oracle cock must this oracle cock shows shows a great resemblance to a very fat turtle dove on Mount Purbatua, i.e. the oracle cock promises much happiness and many blessings. For our Opung Debata has bestowed the dignity of a prince on the son of our mother, Baru Pasaribu. Your grave feast on account of the birth of this son, begotten in a mysterious way, has become a joy to us. As to your spouse, Burupa Saribu, after the present, she has been shedding tears, she has been despised, she has had to suffer many reproaches, but her sufferings will soon turn into happiness and she will be respected. Her son has been predestined by debata to uphold the Hadat, to be a prince of princes, who shall surpass everybody in speaking. He shall be the keeper of the accurate gold weights. He shall be a champion, the champion of princes. He shall be the keeper of the bands of gold weights, the plough which divides the gold exactly into halves, of the exact liter measure, and the correct pair of scales. He shall take away what is superfluous, and he shall supply what is wanting among us Batak. Now, then, the honorable princes, let us worship our Opung Mula Janina Bolon by holding the bius celebration. Let us worship him who has given us a holy prince full of majesty. Our reign and prosperity will depend on this prince. The tears of our mother Bogupa Saribu shall soon be dried. Her son shall soon be acknowledged as a prince even by unknown people. Honorable princess, you have heard this. Let everyone contribute his share of the expenses of the sacrificial celebration to beg for the fertility of the fields. As to our rice, on the very day you shall do what I told you, it will grow in the normal way again, there will be rain again, and the violent winds will abate.
Bius. We can be easy brief. We can be very brief about this communal sacrificial celebration. Several Bataiki have several tried have several Bataiki have already tried their hand at explaining it. Each of these contributions, especially that by Count, is a serious attempt at trying to understand the meaning of this sacrificial celebration. As we have already stated, this celebration aims at the restoring of harmony in the universe in order to put an end to the disasters caused by cosmic disharmony. This intention is obvious obvious from the following lines. Foregoing OCP 87 only then when, for example, an epidemic infests the whole tribal district, or when a great drought threatens the fields of all the inhabitants equally, they have had recourse to a general meeting of the inhabitants of a very large region, comprising the whole tribe with its co-inhabitants and the enclaves. This function of the bius celebration to restore cosmic harmony is closely related to the function of a renewal celebration called OCP50. For the celebration takes place at the turn of the year for the Toba Batak, an extremely precarious moment. In this case, the bius celebration is called mangasetaon, i.e. the cleansing of the year, or mameletaon, i.e. to make sacrifices to the year. Foregoing OCP 8990. Probably the meaning is that they went to settle with the old year by means of the bius sacrifice, and at the same time to try to please the new year. During this sacrificial celebration, a kerbau tied to a borotan slaughter pole is killed, to whom is this sacrificial animal consecrated. Called OCP 28 thinks that it is destined for the deity. The head of the kerbau is then decorated with lambe, leaves of the iron palm, as a sign that it is destined for the deity. We really agree with Kant's view, for where the Toba Batak consider the high god to be embodiment of the cosmic totality and order, we can take it that they also look upon him as the causer of disasters. In this respect, the text published in the preceding paragraph is of importance. This supposition is also supported by the custom to lead the kerbau first round to the slaughter pole 3 to 7 times on OCP 28, not until it is fastened to it are the spirit and deities of under, middle, and upper world invoked. IBS OCP 129 SQ. What does the slaughter pole represent? In his already mentioned essay on the bius celebration is the district of Sihota near Lake Toba says. The searching, felling, conveying, decorating, and planting of the borotan takes place under careful precautions, while formulae of prayer exist. When a tree of a suitable kind of wood is found, then first the serpents of the upper world and the deities of the middle world are invoked while incense is being burned. Then the highest deities of the upper and underworld are invited to descend and to ascend respectively. In the village, a wheel with 4 spokes is fastened to the pole close to the broad top, in which a hole is made, filled with tambatua, a magic paste, mixed with the sticky mass of hornbeam. The wheel is decorated with various kinds of leaves to make it more or less look like a living tree. In the north, the other edge, in Sihotang, they contended themselves with 2 sticks crosswise decorated with palm leaves. For a picture of a borotan, see photo 2, Philip Lumbantobing. Sometimes an Achenis ulos is hung on top of it, or a piece of white material representing the Tano Solam, the pure country of the Halak Chau or Malay Philip Lumbantobing. 2. Which the tree bursts into the upper wood Sudung di Langit. In the note referring to it, the author says, this is preferably said of the Waringen, which is the sacrificial tree par excellence. Philip Lumbantobing. The tree is planted in a hole so deep that a man will disappear in it up to his waist. A double magic square is drawn on the underside of the pole or on a metal plate, which together with a living chicken serving as a kind of bed for the slaughter pole is put in the hole, and in the middle octagon the other means
In the middle of the double square, mirip lumban tubing, a small tortoise is drawn. This is the naga humaditano. Sometimes, such as an octagon is drawn in red, white, and black flower in the sacrificial place. The center of it, the slaughter pole, is splintered, which means that it penetrates into the underworld. It will now have become obvious that the Bogotan is not an ordinary slaughter pole, but in our opinion a representation of the tree of life, which is identical with the high god. Another argument to support the supposition that the sacrificial demon is destined for the high god is to be found in the fact that it is the function of the bius sacrifice to settle with the old and to please the new year. As we have seen in the second chapter, the high god is the old as well as the new year.